What's going on, everybody? What do you need to know about vaping? Huh? You beginners? You people still aren't convinced and say, I'm told that's worse for you than smoking a real cigarette. Well, I say you continue to smoke your real cigarette and die of cancer or emphysema or something else along that lines, which a cigarette is proven to help aid that cause. Granted, the studies haven't been out there long enough for these to know exactly what they'll do. Cigarettes have been around for hundreds of years now. Sure, we'll go hundreds of years. I don't know, I never looked it up. But, mind the dog. So yeah, we don't know. We don't know yet. I can tell you this. Bottle of juice that you put in here, there's usually 3 chemicals in here. There's 3 chemicals in here, and when you put it in your device and vape it, unless you're vaping in it at an extreme rate, which is super hot, you still have 3 chemicals in it for 90% of the juices. There are some whatevers, but 3 chemicals in, 3 chemicals out, right? What do you got with a cigarette? Well, you got paper and tobacco, right? And you put that through a filter that really doesn't do anything for you. More or less there to hold back the tobacco, really. You got 2 ingredients in there if you don't count the cotton filter, right? Once you light that puppy up, it goes to 3,000 chemicals. Well, do you want 3,000 chemicals or do you want 3? Alright? Basic enough for you? Alright. So, this is what you'll find at a gas station, convenience store, whatever. Somewhere around the $15 range. And I suggest that unless you want to just throw $15 away after a little while, I'm talking like a day, that you don't buy one of these. If you want to throw $15 at one of these and a day later end up throwing it out the window, it's okay. It's not the best. Battery life is really short. The little pieces on the inside that on this particular one, is refillable. Not refillable. Not refillable, not reusable, but you basically throw that away and open up another one and stick it back on there. This battery happens to be rechargeable. And you put a new one on. However, these little cartridges are going to cost you about what it cost you to get this in the first place. Okay? Okay. Usually they come in like a 2 to 5 pack of cartridges. But they're going to cost you about the same as this. Alright? What this is a battery. This whole side right here is a battery. Okay? That's all that is. Battery. What this has in it is a little heating coil. Okay? A little heating coil in here and some wicking material that holds the juice in there. It's kind of like the cigarette lighter in your car. When you push the button, in this case, I just inhale and it automatically turns on. It's an auto battery. When you push your cigarette lighter in the car, it heats up that big coil. So it's something along the lines of that. It's a lot smaller of a coil, of course, but it heats that up and heats up the juice that's in the filler material around the coil. And that's all it is. It's just a heating coil in there. That's it. Okay? I suggest you start off with an Ego battery. They're relatively cheap. What are they now? 12, 13 bucks. You find them places, something like that. Or you can upgrade to a bigger one. I've had these for a long time. This is all busted up and done. But I still keep it around for whatever. And these have switches on them. See, got a light. So you just push the button to vape and let go, and you're not vaping. And this one is customizable, and you can turn the voltage down if you like a cooler vape, or you can turn it up if you like a hotter vape. Some things, if you turn up though, you will burn out the coils inside. Okay, be aware of that. So, suggestion of an Ego battery or something a little bigger. These are like 26 bucks now. This is a Vision spinner. Okay. That's regular Ego battery. The regular Ego batteries that I first saw ever were about this big. Okay. And they lasted about 3 hours. And I was so glad that I had bought 2 of them. They would last about 3 hours and take about 3.5 hours to charge back up. Okay? So remember, if you want stealth in that little small size, you're going to sacrifice battery life. However, you go to one of these bigger ones, and whatever you want to try out. When I first started, it was these cargo tanks. And they're the same thing. They have a filler material up on the inside of this metal sleeve in there. See the metal sleeve inside. And there's 2 coils, because this is a dual coil. So there's 2 coils in there. And there's holes at the bottom on the inside. You fill your juice up, goes through the holes, and you vape it. This has been sitting for a really long time. I did show it off in one of my other videos. I don't know, a month ago or so. Whatever. I don't know what's in it. But make sure it's not too high for this thing. But it's about the same. As you're going to get out of that cig-alike. Okay? The difference between this setup and this setup is going to be battery life. Battery life and all this fluid right here, you can see it. You know when it's getting low, you can refill it back up with a bottle of juice. Okay? So, all you have is it's like a cotton ball in there. Okay? Just a little squished up bunch of cotton. It's like that. It's like that. It's not, but it's like that. Just so people that don't know what it is to compare to. That's what it's like. A little bit of material in there that just soaks up some of the juice, and that's it. Once that juice is gone from here, whoosh, out the window. Alright? I don't want to go back to this again. Let's move on. So, you can see your juice level in here. You can fill it up when you need to. The inner piece the cartomizer in this case is replaceable. If you happen to drop this and crack the tank, you can either go get a whole new one, or you can just replace the tank. Okay? Relatively cheap. This is a really cheap setup. I haven't priced out a cartomizer in a long time, but I believe I used to buy 5 packs of the cartomizers, and they would cost under $10. And that's about it. Some of them do a little better. This one probably do a lot better when it was brand new, but it's been sitting in my little box for quite some time. I don't have down here is a very common one lately, but was a very common one. And that would be, we'll bring down a couple of things here. Is a Kanger Pro Tank. These are great. Instead of the coils being wrapped up inside some cotton, there's only one in here, is down at the bottom. It does the same thing. Screws onto your battery. You fill it up. Again, my Pro Tank's been sitting for a while, so. But it works. And that's about the performance you can expect. Some are a little better, some are a little weaker. I don't want to go into different ohm settings and all this other confusing stuff. So, highly recommend a battery such as that. Wow, my daughter's TV is really loud, isn't it? That's crazy. So, or an iTaste MVP. Mine happens to be taken apart right now because the LiPo batteries in it finally went out after, I don't know, a year, whatever. But I was using this all the time. But it's not that much different size to this. It does fit in your pocket quite nicely. Although this, I do have little toys for, so I don't have to worry about where it is. Yeah, do that. So you could get little rings. The Pro Tank actually comes with a ring, so you can do that. So it will look pretty on there. You won't see any of those weird threadings or anything. See? It's a lanyard. It goes around your neck. And that's all I'm going to do. And it's always right there. You can just walk around. You don't have to dig in your pocket or anything. There are accessories for this stuff. Okay? Different style batteries. You can work yourself up to mods, what they're called. Different kinds of mods. All sorts of stuff. Different colors. Okay? I think that feels like it has a battery in it. Okay? There's different kinds of batteries. Find out what works for you. What's the expected battery life? Yes, this may take a little bit of time on your part into going into a shop or going online and checking out how many milliamp hours a battery is. And I don't remember what those milliamp hours are anymore. It has been that long since I looked them up. I don't think this says on it, but I will look. Yeah, it does. This is an 18650 battery, which goes into a mod like this. There are other mods. There are box mods even now that take these But I'm just going to show you. Items like this will require you to purchase the mod, to purchase a battery or two. I like to have at least two, and a charger. 95% of the time, you get the mod. You get nothing else with it. That's it. You get the mod. And these ones that I have are between 20 and 30 bucks. Okay? If you're going 20 and 30 bucks, you haven't done any research. That is dirt cheap. Okay? Just let you know. So, batteries are probably going to cost you about 10 bucks. Now your initial thing's going to be, oh my god, really? You put all that money into it? It's really not that much. What is a pack of cigarettes costing you right now? And are you a pack a day user? Are you a pack a day user? What is that, like 8 bucks? I haven't asked anybody that smokes lately what they cost, and I haven't really looked at them. But I'm going to go with the $8 range. Okay? So $8 all week long. That's 7 days. That's $56 right there. Like this particular atomizer, they all work a little different. I'll give you a little peek inside. Has a coil. Probably not going to focus. And when you heat it up, vapor comes out. That's it. They all work a little different. This particular one is between $20 and $30 wherever you go. Looks like you can find drippers for 20, 30 bucks. You can find them for a heck of a lot more too. So, if a bottle like this lasts you a week, this is 30 milliliters. I'm just going to throw a week in there, alright? And you went down to, say, this place and bought one. I'm trying to think now. I think it's 17 bucks. Okay? 17 bucks. And you found one of these for 20 bucks, right? What is that? 37 bucks? Okay. You found one of these or something else. Some things are cheaper, but we're just going to throw them at the $20 range, right? 37 to 57, right? That's about what you're allotting anyhow for your cigarettes for that week, right? So we'll just throw in an extra $10 for a battery. Go in here. You can find, like I said, you can find, yeah, it's on me. That's why I can't find it. 26 bucks. You figure that out. I'm just saying if you went the mod route here and 10 bucks, so you're 10 bucks over what you were smoking for, right? That's 10 bucks over what you were smoking for. And then you bought a battery charger too, 10, 20 bucks. Okay? So you're $30 to $40 over. You're almost at 2 weeks. Well, guess what? After you have this stuff, you don't have to buy it again. You just have to buy this. And now you're at $17 a week. It may take you the 2 weeks of not smoking to balance out your price of getting this. 2 weeks. And after that 2 weeks, you're down to buying one of these a week. $17 versus $56. You don't have to buy a lighter anymore either. What was that, every 4 months? Those are getting more expensive too. You figure it out, people. Huh? You want to buy this? once a week for $17. You want to keep smoking and spend $56 a week. That's if you're a pack a day. Some of you heavier, some of you lighter. Whatever, man. I can show you the inside of a different one of these. Find a place to put that. You want to know what happens inside it? I don't even know if there's juice in here. Let's see here. Oh yeah, it's good and gooey and juicy. I'll put it down here. See all that luscious vapor. Isn't that great? Just juicy lusciousness of vapor. Right? Different things vape differently. Okay, put that out there. This particular one, you have to coil and wick it yourself. Whereas regular tanks, a pro tank, that's on here, you don't have to do that. You can buy the little coil heads. They just unscrew and they screw back in. If you happen to burn one out, run it dry one time, you'll see. Or you can get into fancier stuff. There's a lot of people that just went to this to stop smoking and decided, hey, I want to blow a bigger cloud. Now that is quite the difference. From that. Maybe some of you are saying, I've tried that before and it was so harsh, or the flavor wasn't great. Yes, on that. They usually come in a couple of different strengths: mild, medium, or low, medium, and high. And all that's talking about is the nicotine strength in this. If you go down to places like this or order online or anything like that, you can choose, most places, between no nicotine at all up to 25, 36, whatever. When I started out vaping instead of smoking, it was 12. I was on 12 for a really long time. But then it was 12 in things like this. And when it's 12 and things like this, it's okay. You get a little throat hit back there. It's all right. But if it's 12 and something like this, you're going to be on the ground coughing. There's just that much more excessive heat and buildup than there was in this. Okay? A lot of info to take in. I just thought I'd do a little one here because so many people ask, what is that? What is that? Well, look at all that smoke you're putting out. I'm not putting out smoke. I don't know how you guys can all go, well, I quit smoking on this day. I don't even remember what day it was. It's been months, I know that. I don't think it's been a year. It's been months, but I don't know what day it was that I hadn't had a cigarette anymore. Why would I keep track of that? Why would you? I haven't tried this in a really long time. This is a different kind of tank. I don't even know if I have my battery set to do this. No, my battery's not set to do this. With all these, they just come apart. Okay? And the battery's inside. It's just a shiny battery holder. That's all it is, folks. Shiny battery holder. Or you can get a dull battery holder, you know, and it's got a little bling on it, but it's nothing too special. It's not like it's diamonds or anything. Don't mind me. There are little tweaks and adjustments that you may have to do to things on a mod style. Okay? However, if you get just a regular vision spinner or I can't think of the names of the other ones, but they're adjustable voltage ones like the MVP. There's really nothing other than setting your battery voltage where you want it. And even up to these are 3.7 volts, they're 4.2 at a full charge, but they level out at 3.7 and stay there pretty much. Something like this goes 3.3 all the way up to 4.8, and I don't even need that. I got it sitting right around 3.8, 3.7 right now. That's what the voltage of this is. The difference is this nice big battery, even though it's not as long as this one, this nice big battery will pretty much last all day. Will last all day and then some, using a tank like this. Now, using something that produces 10 times the vapor, it won't. But it'll last half the day, and I have another battery on backup where I can just put it in, throw the other one on the charger. No big deal. Okay? Okay. That out of the way. What did I do with that? Let's see here. Drip tips. You can buy drip tips. You want a fancy drip tip, you can go buy a fancy drip tip. They do seem to be getting a little spendy though. This happens to be an iClear 30B. You can see it vapes relatively nicely. No big issues there. They're all different, people. They're all different. You can get wonky looking ones like this. What is that? What is this? It's all you get all the time. If you're seen out on the street a bunch of times by the same person, eventually, if they don't know, they're going to come up and they're going to ask you, what is this? Yeah, you can get that much out of here. Or you can do it just like you're doing a cigarette. What is this? So just a little information out there for you people that have no idea. What is this? What is that? How much does that cost? How much does this cost? Do us all a favor. I don't want to sound like a mean guy to everybody out there that wants to know. But if you're interested, and especially if you're leery about going up to people and just ask them about their stuff, most people will talk about it. You know, most people will talk about it. But, you know, if you want to know, look it up. I know that if you type in a e-cigarette, the first things that are going to come up are going to be things like this. I suggest that you don't buy that, because you will quickly outgrow this and possibly go back to smoking. Unless you're super committed to it, this is going to cost you more in the long run than smoking. Okay? It is. They will say on the package that, hey, this is equal to a pack of cigarettes. No, it's not. The battery life on it, the amount of juice that's in here, No. Out of 3 cartomizer heads, what I'm going to call it, that I've had for this thing, this has been the longest lasting. And why? Because I'll take 2 drags on it and I'll throw it on the counter for hours. The other ones I was and if you're going to do this, I bet my little battery thing's going to blink pretty soon here. And I can already taste the burnt flavor. Because this one has literally been sitting on the counter for about 4 days. And I'll just take a couple hits off of it every now and then to see if it's still working. And put it back down. And maybe come back to it a few hours later. And take 2 puffs off of it. And put it back down. Just to see if it's still working. Like that, this thing will last. Nobody that quit smoking is going to do that. And just have one of these. And not be mad that you have to buy 100 heads for it. I'm surprised it's not blinking yet. Because it should be. Because it's dry. And it's burnt. And this particular one has a little chip in it to say, hey, I'm dried out. You're not going to vape me anymore. So, I suggest a bigger tube style battery. You can turn these off. So if you put them in your pocket, you won't accidentally fire everything. Blinks. No light. Look at that. It's off. Okay? You can put it in your pocket. It's not going to fire. It's not going to heat up your liquid and put vapor all over your pocket. Turns back on. See? Little things like that. Mods usually have some sort of locking ring. You know, you push the button in down here. This one has a locking ring on it. Which, when you unscrew this, sorry, as I was unscrewing my switch. When you unscrew this, it butts up against the switch, and now it can't be pushed at all. I'm a fan of the mods now. Even though I will still carry this. I carry this on my motorcycle. Why do I carry that on my motorcycle? Because it's right there. And if I'm stuck in traffic, it slips right up underneath my helmet. And I can enjoy a little vape while I'm sitting at the stoplight. So, there it is, folks. You want to know? Do a little bit of research. I suggest check out some websites. What kind of websites? Where do I go? You're not leading me in any direction whatsoever. Well, I'm well aware if you type in e-cigarette, you get the cigalikes. You're not going to get a Pro Tank or anything like that. So I suggest Google search Pro Tank. Google search Ego battery. Google search mechanical mod. These particular ones that I showed you are 18650 mechanical mods. So if you type in 18650 mechanical mod, you're going to get everything. eBay, all sorts of different vendors, all sorts of stuff. Okay? This is a rebuildable atomizer. RBA. Rebuildable atomizer. Okay? This is a RTA. A rebuildable tank atomizer. It all comes apart. You do it yourself. If that scares you, Go to a pro tank. Go to an Aspire Nautilus. Aspire Nautilus just came out with coil heads for their mini version of this big tank. You can see it's quite a bit different than this one. This one holds 5 milliliters of juice. And it vapes extremely well for a tank. But the Aspire Nautilus Mini just came out with a bottom vertical coil replacement head. And that's what I have in here. And it works wonderfully. Okay? So, search 18650 mechanical mod. Type that into your Google. Okay? Search rebuildable atomizer. Search pro tank if you're interested in a pro tank. You're going to come up with all sorts of sites using these words. Okay? It's up to you to do your research on them. There's forums. The ECF forum. You can go on the ECF forum and just read what people are talking about on there. It's an electronic cigarette forum. EC forum. They have everything on there. They'll talk to you about egos. They'll talk to you about mechanical mods. Whatever, man. It's all up there. There's information. But if you type in electronic cigarette, that's what you're going to get. And I don't even see pictures of stuff like that when I Google search electronic cigarette. Okay? Mechanical mod. Right? Pro tank. If you use some of these words, and it'll take you to a vendor site where you can purchase a pro tank. Once you get into find a site, you can get into the site and you can scroll around through the site and see what else there is. I'm just giving you some keywords you could look for, okay? Do some research. That's all I'm saying. You want to know? You don't want to ask anybody? Do some research. It doesn't take you but a couple minutes on your phone. Once you go into somewhere where you're looking at stuff, it's going to be overwhelming. You're going to be like, wow, I didn't know there was so much stuff. Yeah, there is a ton of stuff. And when in doubt, ask. Contact whoever it is, whoever site you're on. I want to know more about this pro tank. I've never vaped before. I want to quit smoking. And 9 times out of 10, of course there's going to be a bad vendor somewhere in there, right? 9 times out of 10, they're going to point you in the right direction. Why don't you start out with a Vision Spinner or an MVP? This gets recommended an awful lot. The MVP gets recommended an awful lot because the battery life on it is great. And it does the tank style systems perfectly. You can change stuff on it. Great. USB port, you just plug it in and charge it. It's great. There it is, everybody. Shoot me a question if you want. I don't care. Every question I get asked, I answer. So, go ahead. You all have fun now, because I know I will.